Wait, you give your money to a bank, and somehow, the bank makes more money with it, and you get almost nothing? Yeah, that's not a bug, that's the system. Hi, I'm Lucas. I explain complicated things using simple words and simple drawings. So, how do banks make money? Let's start simple. You have money. You don't want to keep it under your mattress, so you put it in a bank. Feels safe, feels smart. The bank says, "Don't worry, we'll take care of it." Very comforting. But here's the thing. Your money doesn't just sit there. It doesn't relax. It doesn't sleep. It goes to work for the bank. Now imagine this. You deposit $1,000. The bank keeps a small part, just in case. Let's say $100. And the rest? They lend it out to someone else for a loan. And that person pays interest, let's say 5%. So the bank is making money with your money. Meanwhile, you get maybe 0.5%. Nice. So let's recap. Your money goes in, the bank lends it out, and earns way more than you do. Kinda crazy, right? But it gets better. Because the bank doesn't just do this once. They do it again and again and again. Your money moves. It gets reused. It keeps working. Like a little employee with no salary. And the bank collects the profit. Now imagine this. The person who borrowed your $900 uses it to buy something, and that money ends up in another bank. That bank now does the same thing, keeps a small part, and lends the rest again. So your original $1,000 is now creating even more money in multiple places. It spreads, it multiplies, and the system grows. That's why banks are so powerful. They don't just use money once, they reuse it over and over and over. Now here's the part that sounds fake, but isn't. When banks give out loans, they don't always use existing money. Sometimes, they just create it. Yes, they type numbers into an account, and suddenly, money exists. Not printed, not mined, just created, which is basically a money machine. Now, of course, there are rules, central banks, regulations, limits. Banks can't just create unlimited money, but within the system, they can create a lot. And every time a loan is created, new money enters the system. And every time it's paid back, it disappears again. So money is not just sitting somewhere. It's constantly being created and destroyed, which is a bit weird. Now let's go back to you. You deposit money. The bank uses it, lends it, multiplies it, and earns money from it. And you? You get a tiny reward, if any. That's why banks are so profitable. They don't just store money, they use it, they move it, they grow it. And sometimes, it really does feel like they print it. So next time you put money in a bank, just remember, it's not resting, it's working. Just not for you. Nice, right? And now you know how banks make money. Pretty simple, actually. If you like simple explanations, you can follow me for more. New videos regularly. So, if your money is working, who is it working for? See you next time.